While the main campus is in Columbus, Battelle has major technology centers around the world. They also manage 7 national labs.
At Oak Ridge, for example, we have the most powerful computer in the world for scientific discovery. It's not as good as somebody else's, it's better. But that's the standard the department holds us to if they're going to invest the kind of money that is needed. And then at Brookhaven, we're building the most powerful X-ray source in the world. And that's another large fraction of $1 billion building. And these are massive, huge enterprises, experiments of massive scale that the country's invested in. And our role is to help manage those and get them delivered on cost, scope, schedule, and have the right user communities come in and use them.
Exactly.
And see the scientific discovery come out of them that justifies the taxpayer investment.
Battelle is truly a global company with operations in Korea, Guam, Turkey, the Ukraine, Italy, Mexico, the UK, Japan, and Malaysia.
Now, the private sector also sometimes wants to build laboratories. And there's a large corporation in Malaysia that's mostly in oil and gas, and they wanted to build a renewable lab, you know, the green energy lab. And so they came to this country looking for the group that could do that for them, and they came to Battelle. And this is a greenfield site, so we're designing, building, and then going to operate a renewable energy lab for this company. So that's a from the ground up design, which is a wonderful thing to be able to do, is build rather than adapt something.
Sure.
So we're into the design of the building, the laboratory. It'll be a several-story facility. And then the work they're doing that they want to do in renewable energy, some of that comes back to Columbus, and we execute it here. So we focus on trying to get young people into science, technology, engineering, math, and we try and focus on getting those young people who wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity.
Here in Central Ohio, Battelle operates a biomedical research center in West Jefferson. The facility in Hilliard involves improvement in the armor for the U.S. military. And the Columbus suburb of Dublin is where you will find some amazing innovations. Battelle is well known for its research and development, but what you may not know is that it's in the business of manufacturing, and one of those manufacturing facilities is right here in Dublin, Ohio. And one of the things that they're producing is something called the PCO2 sensor. And here to tell us exactly what that does is Raj Haricharn. Raj, nice to see you. Thanks for having us in.
Sure, you're welcome, Andrea. The PCO2 sensor, this was a cooperative effort between Mombari and NOAA and Battelle. Mombari is the Monterey Bay Research Institute, and NOAA, we all know NOAA. And this device here monitors the surface air and water looking at the carbon dioxide concentration.
Why is that important?
It's important because depending on the concentration of carbon dioxide, it has an effect on the life forms in the ocean, like, for example, our fish. And that gives an early indication that there is something wrong in that particular part.
Preserving, protecting our environment, very important.
We offer what we call cradle-to-grave service. It's the full service that we offer our customers, and that includes taking these from the environment that we put them in and then either refurbishing them or we responsibly would dispose of them. So this unit here, we have the crew that would go out, remove it from the ocean, refurbish it, and either replace it back in its environment or some other disposal method.
Now, this is a really interesting development, something that you thought was necessary, so much so that Battelle invested its own money to make this happen.
That is correct. This is what we call the Continuous Technology Refresher Program. Working with our government and realizing that they have an aging fleet, we proposed these refreshers that were cheaper, that had high reliability, and we introduced new technology. For example, this particular system is a caution advisory panel. It used to use vacuum tubes. Today it uses LEDs. And there's a story to be told about this because when we introduced it to our warfighters, very early on we received a lot of reports of boot failures. Yeah, boot failure is typically associated with software failure, so we figured something was wrong with the software. We went out to investigate, and only to find out that the warfighters liked it so much that they would they would actually boot their panels so it can be replaced with the new technology.
Now, we all know that Battelle does secret stuff, so we can't show you everything, but this is a classified piece of equipment that we can talk a little about?
I can talk about it. I can't show you the inside of it. I can tell you that these are fielded throughout the world in places where it really needs to be, and it's basically sampling air, looking for stuff that is not supposed to be there.
Sniffing out the bad stuff.
Sniffing out the bad stuff, yes.
All right. Let's go to the production floor. So this is the production floor where all of your great ideas come to fruition.
That's right, Andrea.
And what's happening here? It looks like this machine is working overtime.
Well, as a matter of fact, we talked about cradle-to-grave service. Yeah. This is one of the services where we populate our own circuit card, and this machine is populating at about a rate of 5,000 components an hour.
What is this card for?
This is for the PCO2 sensor. That's the device that we talked about earlier.
I love the fact that you branded it with the Battelle name, just to say you own this idea and you've produced the whole product.
Yes. Yes, as you said earlier, Battelle is not known for manufacturing, so this is going to certainly put that word out there.
It's an eclectic group of work that led us to sit down and chat with some of the people responsible for these incredibly innovative works. Tell me what you're working on.
Geez, the breadth here is incredible, the things that we work on. And we've worked together for years on fuel cells, developing new materials for fuel cells. Also get involved in armor development, and more recently, we've been leveraging what we've done in fuel cells and other areas to work in areas of developing new electroactive materials for artificial muscles and things of that sort.
We are working on smart coding for corrosion prevention. So that's a $300 billion industry and government.
This place could be anywhere in the world, and it's right here in Columbus, Ohio, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I say that to clients and to friends, that thanks to Gordon Battelle, the headquarters is here in Columbus and stays in Columbus, and for those of us who are Midwesterners at heart, it's wonderful to have a place like this to work right here.
Oftentimes, the client come to us, whatever the problem, they could not solve themselves. So their final shopping is at Battelle. So they come to Battelle and for whatever the challenges they have, and we solve, so it's like a one-stop shop here.
Somewhere within these walls is an inventor who may be spinning out a company some point in the future that's a successful company, but even more likely is that somewhere in our walls we're working for next generation companies that people haven't heard of, or they haven't heard of that particular product yet, and it is eventually going to become the next kind of big thing.
I have the pleasure of sharing my entire career with a gentleman that was on the original Xerox development team, and the things that he can teach you never end.
We solve problems for a vast array of clients, and we have to be able to look at a problem we've never seen before and be able to apply things that we know and able to deduce how should we go about solving it.
We are in the industrial design studio where ideas become reality, and Reed Harpham is going to show us the process, a process that doesn't necessarily take a long time.
It doesn't. We actually started this last week. This is what we call a mind map. This is typically where we start. We thought it wouldn't be cool to talk about better health, diet and exercise. We focused in on water. People have a hard time knowing how much to drink. And so we thought, what if, this is the big question we ask, what if you could have H2O levels in the body in real time? What if you could track an entire team? The coach could see team players and what their hydration levels are. What if you could wirelessly monitor the team? And so then we move into hand sketches. We take pencil to paper, we come up with the ideas, and we take them back to the team and say, hey, I have an idea of something that might stick in the skin. Do you think this will work? From here, once we get the ideas a little bit more refined, we move into the digital realm where we use digital drawing boards.
Now downstairs is the Rapid Prototype Lab. That digital drawing is emailed down here, and then Jeff Held takes over. All right, what's next?
Well, what's next? We're going to take a look at that sketch and see what the design intent was, and we're going to build a 3D model. And we're going to put some features in that the real model would have, or the real prototype would have. After that, we're going to export it into a format that can be read by this machine over here, and rapidly have a part that's built overnight.
And here it is. Plastic prototype, so that the creator can feel it, see if there's any changes that need to be made?
Exactly, so that quickly they're able to see those changes. We can make those changes on the CAD, send it back into the part, and another one over quickly.
Wow. Another of the fascinating projects that will impact our future is the National Child Study Program. 100,000 children will be followed from the womb through their 21st birthday.
This is a very ambitious study. It's currently valued at about $3 billion, but it's going to be more than that as time goes on. And it really is the defining 21st century study. After 21 years when the study ends, there will be what I think is the defining database to understand human health in this country.
The U.S. Army slogan would be a perfect fit for those working at Battelle. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
It's incredibly unique, and that's one of the things that keeps me here, is being able to take those type of resources and look at fundamental discoveries that are going on elsewhere in academia and at the national labs, and be able to accelerate those things through science and engineering here, and be able to actually produce useful things for mankind.
It turns out we're just a quiet company, and I think we need to raise our profile and let the communities around us know what we're doing, partly because it's just interesting, partly then there's no mystery about us. We certainly do some classified work, and that's typical of institutions of our kind, but most of what we do is in the open. It's all for the national good. It's never, in a national security sense, offensive. It's always to protect. And those values come from the will. And so we're seeking to benefit the communities we live in.
Inside Access also has something that's cutting edge. It's called Mobius. If your cell phone has a camera, just take a picture of our logo from anywhere you're watching this show, or snap it right off our website. Email that picture to this address, and within minutes, you'll receive back all kinds of information about Inside Access that's available right from your phone. And so the good work continues here at Battelle, where their scientists move forward on things such as a vaccine for the swine flu. But with more than 20,000 employees and over 2 million acres of research laboratories and manufacturing facilities around the world, we could only access just the surface of this incredible company. But you can learn a lot more by going to our website, insideaccess.tv. There you can click on a variety of links to watch show segments, view extended interviews, deleted scenes, and yes, even those outtakes. You'll also be able to link to Battelle's website for more information on this incredible company that is right here in our own city. I'm Andrea Camburn. Please support our sponsors as they've supported us. And thank you for watching Inside Access.